part 3. Quote, and they returned from thence, having surveyed the land after 40 days. And they proceeded and came to Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel to the wilderness of Paran Kadesh. And they brought word to them and to all the congregation, and they showed the fruit of the land. And they reported to him and said, we came into the land into which thou sent us, a land flowing with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. Only the nation that dwells upon it is bold, and they have very great and strong walled towns. And we saw there the children of Anak. Stop. Did you catch it? Catch what you pondered? Did you catch the fact the men going to Hamath are a totally different, distinct, and unknown nation of people upon the earth, with Rephaim living among them? How do I perceive this, you wonder? Because of what they said next. Quote, only the nation that dwells upon it is bold, and they have very great and strong walled towns. And we saw there the children of Anak, and Amalek dwells in the land towards the south, and the Chettites, and the Evites, and the Jebusites, and the Amorites dwell in the hill country, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea, and by the river Jordan. Stop. I told you. I told you what? The spies didn't recognize nor know the name of the people dealing with the Rephaim that were closest to them, but called out by name all of the people that was furthest from them. Notice, they knew the 3 Rephaim by name, but by saying, quote, only the nation that dwells upon it is bold, and they have very great and strong walled towns, makes it clear they didn't recognize the nation of taller than average people the Rephaim were with. But I know. No need for me to say the rest, huh? Let's continue for more proof. Quote, and Caleb stayed the people from speaking before Moses. Shut your punk bleep up! And said to him, nay, but we will go up by all means and will inherit it, for we shall surely prevail against them. But the men that went up together with him said, we will not go up, for we shall not by any means be able to go up against the nation, for it is much stronger than we. And they brought a horror of that land, which they surveyed upon the children of Israel, saying, the land which we passed by to survey it. Stop. Just so we are all on the same page so far. By the spies calling them the nation, and by following up with the words, for it can only mean, they are talking about the nation they passed by to survey the rest of the promised land. That wilderness. We wasn't going to stay in the wilderness. We was already there. That's not a promised land. Which can only mean they were only talking about the people they didn't recognize that were closest to them. We know this is true because they knew all of the people furthest away from them. I know what I'm saying is correct because of what they say next. Quote, personal quote, the land which we passed by to survey it is a land that eateth up its inhabitants, and all the people whom we saw in it are men of extraordinary stature. And there we saw the giants, semicolon, and we were before them as locusts. Yea, even so were we before them. Example, I told you there were unknown super duper dudes and the children of a particular Rephaim in the land closest to them. They said all the men were super duper in this particular nation. This can only mean they couldn't have been talking about the Jebusites, etc. The semicolon in this case means the children of Israel look like grasshoppers to the Rephaim. not the unknown nation of extraordinary stature. On a smaller scale, we call them basketball, volleyball, etc. players today. Again, only a very small percentage of people upon the earth are over 6 feet tall. But wait! Am I the only person to perceive, when looked upon with an analytical eye, for them to say, personal quote, and all the people whom we saw in it are men of extraordinary stature, to only mean they were diversified people as well? Interesting, yes? No? This is why it appears to be 3 different scatterings in Genesis 11. Those who had the initial fear, the fact it says one race, and the difference between being scattered all over the earth and all over the face of the earth. How can the language be confounded? Yet there are root words that connect the languages. This is also why the Anointed One's wheat and tare parable said they were sold at the foundation of the world, and not Genesis 6 afterwards. But we will get to that later. As far as this video subject is concerned, well, I think I have been given the understanding to sniff out their trail and tell you exactly who they were and exactly what countries they founded and usurped. But I just can hear these boys now. I can hear these boys now. What is this man talking about? This man don't read Deuteronomy 1:29, 2 and 8, and surely he don't understand Amos 2 and 9. It clearly tells us it was the Amorites. Come on, scribe. Hold it, young buck, hold it. I do read, but the difference is that I try to read with wisdom and understanding. In this case, the Amorites are already accounted for in the spy's report. And if it is true, entanglement is the only mechanics in this realm that allows one thing to occupy 2 spaces at the same time, the Amorites can't be known and unknown, nor can they be the first talked about on the spies list of nations and be the last nations talked about as well. In my humble opinion, and only in my humble opinion, this can only mean when my God, no, not lowly baptized scribe, but when my God calls what is going on the iniquity of the Amorites, that should tell us there is something a little more going on that meets the eye. I think I can show you what it was. You want me to see? You want to see it? You want me to tell you? Here it goes.